In times of difficulties or crisis, it's a natural reaction to be able to want to fix things, to put things right. And I call this the Saviour mode. It's a bit like Superman bursting out of the phone box. We want to save the day. We want to be and act as the Saviour. And this is understandable, and to a degree it is needed. But it starts to unravel when we realise that by all our best efforts, we just can't fix everything. This can lead to guilt, to feelings of despondency, and a feeling of failure, and it can sink our spirits. On a personal front, this resonates with me. When this current crisis reared its head, I too went into saviour mode, both personally and professionally, wanting to help, to put right and rescue people. All this is and was good, and it does help. But it is not something that we can actually sustain for any length of time. For the first time a couple of days ago, I was brought down low. The enormity of everything weighed me down, especially my self-perceived lack of doing what I felt I should be doing. This is a stifling amount of pressure that we place upon ourselves. Now, as a contemplative introvert, I have actually relished and probably thrived through the last few weeks. But even as an introvert I need people around me. I spoke a couple of days ago about how we need to reach out to others, to recognise our need for this, and of our need of God. And I'd been thinking about phoning a close friend and colleague to catch up on things and have a natter, but I just hadn't got round to it. Not sure why, I'm not particularly doing a great deal. Now, God obviously knew, and he knew what I needed, that I needed this contact. Anyway, this friend of mine phoned me yesterday afternoon, and we talked for ages about this crisis, about work, what we're doing, about our families, and about how we've been coping, our own spiritual self-care. That actually is probably in a shared obsession about buying books and crafting. And it was the best therapy I could have asked for. Our very open and honest conversation was a prayer to God, and he answered it by the blessing we found in being virtually together. I felt my soul was restored. And the words of the psalmist in Psalm 23 says this very well. The Lord is my shepherd, therefore can I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures and leads me beside still waters. He shall refresh my soul and guide me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. So maybe if you have been operating out of saviour mode and are struggling to sustain this level, remember there is only one Saviour, and that is Jesus Christ. Let him restore and refresh your soul. Allow him to shepherd you to the places of green pasture and still waters, and reach out to those who can help you do this. Amen.